This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Flagstaff Super Lite fifth wheel model 529 RLKS. Okay, so let's move towards the rear here. So this is just a sprayer. You get a coiled hose that plugs in there. This is the switch for your rear stabilizer jacks, just up and down like that. You don't take you don't lift the trailer with these. Obviously you just take the shake out of it. Okay, another thing to know, as you'll see on this trailer, I believe there's 3 of these holes with a grommet around it. Basically you get a crank and you can attach there. Sticking out of the frame is a shaft with a pin going through it. So you could put that crank on there, and from this side of the trailer you would crank the other slide out in and out. From the other side, I'll show you, you can crank this one in or out. So therefore, if you have an accident or a power failure or some kind of a problem, you can get your slide rooms in and out manually. So right, this one operates the other side. If you look right here, you can get a good view of what I'm talking about here. Right there, you can see that shaft with the pin through it. Okay, so this slide out has one. They all have one except for the front, which is a Schwintek slide, and that's a different procedure. You can read up on that a bit, but there's a little more involved, but nevertheless you still can get it in. Okay. Okay, so moving forward, you have obviously a power awning with LED strip. You have a TV bracket and signal out here and power there, hang a TV. This is the grill rail here where you hang your grill on, and there's also this table that hangs on there also. Okay, keep in mind that the grill, or in this case it's a griddle, it's in the front compartment here right now, and this is the line that connects the griddle to the LP system of the trailer. So basically you plug one end into the griddle, then when you're over here you plug the other end into this one, and you can then you can light it. Okay, this is just a dump hose that comes with it. Okay, your steps fold into the trailer obviously, but when you fold them out you can adjust the length of the legs by pushing up on that pin, or that lever right there. You just push up on it and you can slide the legs up and down to any length you want. Okay. When I talk about cranking the slide rooms, this is the one right here with the long, you see the long end on it. You can't really see it well, but you see there's sort of a slot in it. Maybe you can see that. That's the one that fits on the shaft with a pin through it. Okay. Your salesman is giving you this solar panel with it. You talk to him about that. I just know that it's here. So, okay. You got 2 30-pound LP tanks with an automatic changeover regulator. So you turn both tanks on and it'll draw one down and switch to the next one automatically. Okay, you got 2 deep cycle marine batteries, 27 series, so they're the big ones, and you got 2 of them. They're wired together at 12 volts, right? So basically it's one big 12-volt battery the way the fifth wheel looks at it. So it still puts out 12 volts, just double the storage capacity. Keep in mind that right here you can see that that's a kill switch for the battery. Right now it's on. If you were to put it into storage you could shut them off, but all other times you want it on. Okay, and of course that's just your front landing gear, drive shaft and motor to put your front landing gear up and down. This is the switch for it here, dock lights, and this is to hook up a solar panel. It goes straight into the system that way. Okay. Alrighty. So over here, while I'm standing here, I mentioned that this is a different type of slide out. This particular slide out is called a Schwintek. It's owned by Lippert now, and people still refer to it as a Schwintek, but just so you know, that's the type it is in case anybody asks you or you need to know. Alright, so this is your water filter canister. This comes with a water filter and a wrench to spin it on and off. If you choose to use this, you got to change it every season, so when you winterize in the fall, early winter, you toss the old one out, and then after you de-winterize in the summer or early spring, you put a new one in. So you have to do it every year. It's a carbon block filter. You know, it's going to take out the chlorine taste and some of the mineral taste. It cleans out the heavier stuff. A lot of people don't drink the water anymore, so they don't bother with it, but you know, it's your call. Now this device right here, just so you know, is the power inverter. So this is an inverter. This trailer comes with a converter and it comes with an inverter. The inverter changes 12 volts into 110 AC. So 12 volts DC is converted to 110 AC, which is regular household current. The reason it has it is because this has a large refrigerator, and the refrigerator is inverted. The refrigerator will run off the batteries, and when you're going down the road, your alternator on your tow vehicle will charge the batteries, and then the refrigerator will draw power from it. It goes through the inverter and kicks it from 12 volt DC to 110 AC, and then onto your refrigerator. Okay. This is the hose. I showed you the one port over there. That's right here. Let me get it out of the way here if I can. Hold on. Just unhook it here and get it right out of the way. Okay, so this is your water station here. Of course, you have another place to hook up. You just saw I had the coiled hose on there. Now, this is your city water hookup. So this is the most common way to get water to the trailer. You just hook your hose right on here. Now, in order to do that, you got to look at these diagrams, and this was the city water diagram. So you look, this will have to be changed like this and like that. So right now in this configuration with the 4 valves, it'll run city water. So I'll turn on the faucet with the hose hooked up here. Everything works. Now, if you're going to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsite, you can look at it as power filled tank, right? So your hose is still hooked up here, but you would reconfigure these like this, and this hose will fill your onboard fresh water tank, and then you'll use the pump. There's a switch for the pump inside. There's also one right here, but you turn on the water pump and then it'll pump water out of the tank. All the plumbing will work as though you have city water. It'll just be pumping from the tank. So that gives you another option. Also, I said that's to fill, but after you fill it, before you start using the water pump and pumping water out of the tank, you'd put it in this configuration, dry camping. So this would go like this, and this will go like this, as you can see, and you're all set. Now you can winterize the trailer. This is a winterizing configuration. Sanitizing is basically drawing some kind of a chemical through it. Spring Fresh, or one of the major brands of cleaners. Some people just use a half a cup of bleach, depending, and that sort of thing. You can use what you choose to, but you can draw it through the system that way. Okay, so that's that. Now, your valves are right here. You got 2 gray valves. Gray tanks are sink and shower water. Then you have a black tank valve. The black tank is toilet water and waste. So that's the dirtiest of water. So you always dump the black first. Then use the gray to flush out the hose a bit. After you've done that, you leave your black tank valve open, and then you can put the hose at the dump station right on here. Turn it on, and this is the black tank flush. So it will spray out the inside of the tank. It'll clean off the sensors, that sort of thing, and wash out your hose, and it's just a much more efficient way to clean your black tank. So you always have that option. Alrighty, so this is your water heater on the outside. Get this in the right position here so I can get it off, if at all possible. There we go. Okay, so this excuse me, this water heater works on LP gas or on electricity. So the switches are inside the trailer, but you must know that there's also a switch right here, a rocker switch in this lower left-hand corner, if you can see it. This rocker switch controls the heating element, the electric heating element that's under this cover. So before you turn on the electric heating element, this switch has to be in the on position. So keep that in mind. Never run your electric heating element without water in the tank, because it will burn it out in just a minute or so, and you'll have to get it replaced. Let me shut this door here, I'm sorry. So keep that in mind. Also, this is the drain plug. It's got an anode rod on it, and so it's very long. It's probably 10 inches long or something like that. And it takes an 1 1/16" 6-point socket. Okay. You also have to have an extension to get your ratchet or whatever you're using out this far. So figure a 6-inch extension on it, something like that. Okay. All right. I'll show you the switches inside the trailer when we get there. Get it closest with one hand. There we go. Okay. The thing to know about this is the valve for your ice maker. Right now it's shut off. Although we may turn it on before, it's been tested, but we may turn it on for you before you leave, or I'm not sure what they're going to do, but this is where you turn the ice maker on and off for your refrigerator. Okay, so this is a 50 amp system, right? So this is a 50 amp 30-foot cord. Also, you have an adapter here that we give you that adapts it down to from 50 to 30 amp, okay? So 30-foot 50 amp cord and then a 30 amp adapter. Now if you look up where I showed you the dump hose was, there's also another adapter which will adapt it down to a regular household plug. Of course you can't run the air conditioners or anything like that, but you can run everything else, okay? Also, one more thing, I showed you how you can fill your fresh water tank from the docking area by putting the valves in the right position. You can also fill that tank right here. There's 2 ways to get water into it, okay? You have a backup camera that you ordered that was installed for you. This backup camera turns on when you turn on your running lights on your tow vehicle. So don't just leave it on automatic. Most trucks will only turn this on if you manually turn your light knob to the running lights. Okay, so as soon as there's no backup circuit, so it uses the running light circuit. And so as soon as you do that, you can see behind you whether you're backing up or just going down the road, whatever you're doing. So keep that in mind. You have a ladder, which is great because the manufacturers state that you inspect the roof every 90 days. So you're going to have somebody go up there. You can walk on the roof no problem. Just be very careful, of course. Check all the sealant for cracking or separation. Check the vent covers and the roofing material for damage from low branches or road debris flying up there, that sort of thing. Just give it a good inspection. Odds are you won't have to do anything for a long, long time, but that's why you're inspecting it, just to make sure. Okay. All right, so we'll start right here. This is your control panel. It's an analog panel, which I happen to believe are the best. They don't have any problems, and they're extremely reliable, and they make perfect sense. So, okay. All right, so for your front slide room, the Schwintek slide, it's right here. Your other 3 in the back, the 1 door side slide and the 2 off-door slides are right here. Your awning, your power awning is right here. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in. Okay. This is for Wi-Fi Ranger. Now this you turn this on, and basically it has an antenna on the roof and a router. It's a signal booster for public Wi-Fi. That's its main function. If you look at this sticker right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the top 10103205, that's you. So on all your family's devices, phones and tablets, you'll put a password in, so it will automatically hook up to this device, right? Then you have to use one of the devices and go to the control panel by typing in this address into a browser, right? The bottom line here. And when you get there, you use a temporary password, which is Change Me Now 3205. That's temporary. And then you can see everything the Wi-Fi Ranger sees. So, like I said, it's a signal booster. It's got a built-in firewall. It really does a good job. Now, there's also a second feature that involves your cellular provider. You can put a SIM card in it, and you have cellular service through it, but you have to pay a monthly fee and all that sort of thing. Most people just use the free Wi-Fi feature. Also, keep in mind that this also has an app, so you can download the app from either Apple or Google Play, and there's all the pertinent numbers and everything. Okay. These are just all lights here. Okay. So I'm going to turn them on here because, whoops, there we go. So we have it lit up now. This is for your fan up there. You can see it spinning now. Okay. This is just telling you this is pre-wired for a solar panel. So the wires to hook up your control panel are right behind here. And then on the roof it has the plugs and standard plugs to plug panels in. So it's pre-wired, okay? If you had solar panels, the power that's generated would go into the front batteries, the 227 series batteries in the front, and then your 12 volt would draw from there. Okay, so here's your water pump. I told you you can pump water out of the freshwater tank if the campground you're at doesn't have plumbing on the campsite. You can also use this to winterize the trailer. To turn your water heater on electric is right there. Make sure you get the second switch too. Remember I told you there's one on the outside in the lower left hand corner. And to light it on gas is right there. And this also has tank heaters. It has heating pads on all the storage tanks so they don't freeze up as easily, so you can stay out much longer into the winter and go out much earlier, but just by turning this on. Okay. And then you have your levels. Your battery's charged. Fresh water is got water in it because we're still testing it. Your black tank is empty. Your gray tank is empty. Your second gray tank is empty. Gray tank number 1 is the sink and shower, and number 2, I believe, is the kitchen sink. Okay. So that's everything on this panel. Like I said, and there's also an app for it. Okay. So we'll move down into the main living area here. The thermostat, it works like any other thermostat. There's 2 zones in this trailer. Zone 1 is this living area, and Zone 2 is a second air conditioner in the bedroom. So you have to set them on and off separately. Right now it's on Zone 1. So you just move through the systems, right? Heat. Then go through the mode, on and off, that sort of thing. And then you would switch to Zone 2 and do the same thing. So that's all done from this panel here, or this thermostat here, I'm sorry. You also have this for the power fan up there, so you got a remote for it. So all you do is turn it on, and it'll open up the cover, and there are vent covers over the lid, so you can keep it going during the rain and that sort of thing. So keep in mind that that's all you do. Plus you can set the speed and all that sort of thing from this device here, this remote here. But if you have it set up the way you want it, you just turn it on and off. I'm turning it off now. Okay. Keep in mind you have a smoke detector on the ceiling that has to be maintained when it comes to batteries and that sort of thing. Also, while we're on the subject, this device down here, let me see if I get this out of the way. Okay, this device down here is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. You can see it's green here. It should always be green. So this, basically, if it detects carbon monoxide buildup, it'll go off. If it detects a LP leak, it'll go off. And also, if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you got a low battery. So I'll put it through the test mode. That was LP test. Here comes carbon monoxide. And then low battery alert. Okay? And then back to green. So it should always be green. Now if it goes off, you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, and then figure out what's going on. That's very important. You never ignore it, of course, or disconnect it, ever. Okay? While we're standing here, this is the monitor for your backup camera. This goes in your tow vehicle. This is a monitor for your tire pressure and wheel temperature monitor. So it'll tell you the temperature of your wheels, bearings, so to speak, or your wheels, mainly the bearings, what you're concerned with is what I'm saying. And then also it'll tell you your tire pressure, and it has an alarm that'll go off if it's too high or too low, that sort of thing. We'll show you how this works when you pick up your trailer, of course. In this packet there is literature on every major component of this trailer, so you got plenty of stuff to learn if you choose to. The best way to get this information, you know, it's great to read this stuff, don't get me wrong, but if you go to manufacturers' websites and put in the model number and that sort of thing, they almost always have instructional videos for their products. So, okay. All right, so your microwave looks like any other microwave. This is your vent, fan, and light, okay, to vent your range. The range, you always travel with the cover closed, of course, so it doesn't get broke. This is a cheat sheet right here. I'll put it in this top drawer. This tells you about functioning, how your radio and TV work together. It's all the most common questions, so it's a good thing to have when you're learning it. I'll put it right in here for you. Okay. So, here we go. So, this is the sparker. You turn this clockwise to spark it. So you're going to turn on a burner, spark it. I don't know if we got gas on at this point. I got to check. Here, let me go out there and look. I should have checked that when we were over there, when I first started the video, but I did not. Okay. See, so it's off, so I'm turning it on right now. I'll just do the one right now because I only have 30 minutes to complete this video before it opens up another file. And okay, so it'll take a minute for the gas to get up here now. Anytime you shut it down, you have to get gas through the lines again. There it goes. But when you're using it on a regular basis, you don't have to worry about that. There's the other one. Okay? So you have three burners, 3 knobs. Then this is the oven knob here. Let me pick up the pace here. All the way at the back, on the bottom is a pilot light. I could spark it like I just did, so you can see where it's at. You take the oven knob, you go to the picture of the pilot light, you depress it and keep it depressed. Then you spark it by turning this clockwise. And after it lights down here, you still hold it for another 10-15 seconds to heat it up. Then you go to operating temperature. But when you shut it off, the flame goes out, obviously, but so does the pilot light. So you got to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Now your refrigerator, it's like I told you, is 110, and it works off when you're plugged in. It works off the campground electricity. When you're towing it, it works off your inverter that I showed you up front. Always use this locking device when you're traveling, so the doors don't fly open and get dented. All right. Okay, let me get going here. These are hide-a-bed here. So you take off the cushions, you can fold these out. They're 3-panel. They're both really nice. They're not so bad to sleep on. Your fireplace, you have a remote for it, plus, well, let me just say this. You can adjust the appearance of the flame. It works on 110 AC. You can adjust the appearance of the flame. There's a timer, so you can turn it on to, like, let's say, to turn on 20 minutes before you get up in the morning, and so it'll take the chill out of the trailer. It's a good substitute for those days when you don't need to use your furnace. The furnace draws LP gas from your tanks and you have a limited supply, so when you don't need to do that, you can use this because it just runs on regular electricity from the campground. Also, there's a fan in it, you know, off, low, and high, like a space heater fan, so it has all those features. Now, your sound here, this plays discs, CDs, and DVDs right here. You can stream off a USB. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your tablet or your phone. You have AM/FM radio. You have 3 speaker zones right here. 1 is this room, 2 is the bedroom, 3 is outside. You can set zone 3, which is Z3 right here. You can set the source and the volume for the outside separately. So you could watch a video in here plus listen to the radio outside. So that can be done separately by setting the outside, pushing the Z3 button and setting the source and the volume for the outside, okay? Also, this is an HDMI in, so if you've got like one of those game machines or something to keep kids busy on a rainy weekend, that's just an example, you can plug it straight into there. This is an HDMI in, so you would set it to the side, plug it in, and plug it straight into there. It'll go through your TV and everything, okay? Alrighty. Okay, so let me look real quick. These are your theater seats, of course. I don't want to forget anything, but I've got to get moving here. Okay, let me take a look at a few things down here. Okay. Right now I'm looking for the power converter. I showed you the inverter. Now we got to look at the converter. It might be in the bedroom. I don't know. Guess I should have probably found it first, huh? That's a subwoofer down there. Alright, let me look up front here. Yeah, it looks like it's in the back somewhere. Okay, I'll find it. I'll let you know when I find it, okay? Let me go in the bathroom here for the... So, the shower works like any other shower except for this device right here. This is a water miser. Basically, it creates a loop. It recirculates the water around in a circle, a loop. So therefore, when you're heating up the shower water, it doesn't just go down the drain. So you don't waste fresh water for no reason. Some areas have droughts and that sort of thing. So you don't waste that. And you don't waste storage in your gray tank. By dumping water in there you don't need to be dumping. So you can turn that on and it just cycles around in a circle while it's heating up. And when this changes color, you'll see it dramatically change color to a vivid color. You'll know that the water's hot, and then you just put it in a normal position and it works normally. It just is a way to save water when you're letting it heat up before a shower, okay? Which is a really good feature. This is the same vent that you have up front. You could reach this one though, of course, but it's got the different speeds and that sort of thing on it. Actually, this one actually has a remote for it too. I didn't realize that. So you can do that from the remote if you choose to. Always run this fan with the shower. These Flagstaffs are built super tight. They're energy efficient, but you want to vent the humidity out when you're using a shower. That's important. Now the toilet, it works like any RV toilet in that you can't use it with a dry black tank. If I step on the flush pedal here, the black tank is directly below, right? So you have to have water and chemical in that before you start using the toilet. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, you'll come in here and you'll dump one dose of chemical in the bowl. You'll step on the pedal, water will come swirling out, and you'll put about a gallon or so of water in the tank. No, there's no way to tell exactly, just put a gallon in. Some people use 2, it's up to you. The bottom line is you have to have chemical and water in the black tank before you start using it. Otherwise the smell will be overwhelming and it can get clogged up and that sort of thing. Okay. So, like I said, this is zone 2. I'm just looking under here now. That's storage under your bed. This is your wardrobe slide here. Okay. So this, when you're setting the temperature for the air conditioner for zone 2, this is the one they're talking about right here. And this thing here is the sensor that it uses to tell the thermostat what the temperature is up here. So that's what that is. Okay, emergency escape window. Alright, I'm going to make another attempt to find the power converter here. I showed you the inverter, of course. Boy, I don't think I've ever had this much trouble finding one. Very strange. It's here somewhere. Well, have you ever heard of such a thing? Sometimes they'll put it in a closet. Not always, but occasionally you will see that. But this one, it should be... I must have walked right past it here. Let me look around. I can't imagine where it would be. It's got to be someplace visible. How crazy is that? Alright. Well, if I was the embarrassed type, I'd be embarrassed right now, but I'm not, so I'm not. They've got it tucked away somewhere. Not there. I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay. It's not going to be in there. Alright. Well, at the very least, when you come to pick it up, we'll show it to you because I'll have found it by then. I'm surprised I can't see where it's at because it's always right in the open. This is great. Nothing like knowing the product. Okay. Well, I can go on and on, but I'm not going to. I'll definitely know where it's at, and we'll show you when you pick up the trailer. It's tucked away somewhere. So basically, I'll tell you what it does. It does the exact opposite thing as the inverter. It starts with 110 AC and converts it to 12 volt DC, right? So on one side you've got regular household circuit breakers, AC power. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC. On the other side you have fuses, right? Also, when you're plugged in, it's a battery tender, so it'll monitor how much energy you have in your batteries up front, and always keep them charged. It'll send 10 amps if it needs it. If they're charged, it'll just trickle a couple up there. Whatever it needs to keep the batteries charged also. And when you come to pick it up, I'll definitely know where it's at. I think this might be a first for me. So, okay. Well, first of all, thanks for buying your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember, you need to go up on the roof and have somebody go up there, whatever, and inspect it every 90 days. Like I said, that's very important when you own a trailer. Also, make sure you winterize it before it freezes, okay? Thank you very much.